Hello friends, welcome back. This is Manish Pandey. Today in this video, I'm going to show you this RPA Associate exam practice. So let me click on that, and here again you need to enter some details. This is same as RPA developer exam practice. And then here click on start answering questions. So here we have 1 hour 30 minutes, and then we have 51 questions. So first question is, which functions is available with an attended robot? We have 4 options. Ability to continue execution under locked screen, no. Used for debugging and testing purpose, no, because this is the production robots. Started from the robot tray or command prompt, right, this is the correct one. Click on next. A customer calls into a call center to get an update on their current outstanding payment. Consider the following use case. The customer provides the customer ID to the call center representative. The call center representative inputs the customer ID into a web application. Data is scraped from the web application. Calculations are performed by the robot. And fifth, the outstanding amount is provided to the customer over the telephone via telephone by the representative. If this process is automated, what is the minimum number of steps that require manual intervention? So this is the first one, that customer provides the customer ID to the call center representative, so that will happen on the call. Now the second one, the call center representative, they will input that customer ID into web application. So if we are using attended robot, so first we'll get this number, and then we'll manually enter into the input box, and the last, that is after performing everything, we have to share that outstanding amount to the with the customer via a call on over the telephone. So we have 3 options, so we'll select 3 because these 2 options will be automated. Data scraping will be done by robot and calculation also performed by robot. So click next. Which types of automation does UiPath support? So you all know, I believe, attended, unattended and hybrid. So we have this one. Now 4, which component of UiPath platform is used to develop workflows? So we have UiPath Studio, which is used to develop the workflows. What describes the characteristics of UiPath robot? So attended and studio robots can be used without a password, this is correct. No specific permission is required. No, this is wrong. Robot cannot be, this is wrong. Standard robots can work, wrong. So this is the correct one. Click next. During development, a breakpoint is enabled at a particular activity. Later, the developer published the package to UiPath Orchestrator. When the process runs from a UiPath robot in an unattended mode, what is the expected behavior? Process generates an exception? No. Breakpoint will have no impact on the process execution, correct. A developer finished creating a workflow based on debugging best practices. What is the correct sequence of steps that should be performed to test and debugging any resulting errors? To debug any resulting error, okay. So this is for testing, debugging best practice to test, okay. So first we'll validate from the execute tab so that we can remove any validation error, and then we will run the workflow. and find the execution error, and if execution error we found that, then add a breakpoint. Third, add a breakpoint at the activities throwing the exception at the invoked workflow that contains the error, and then run in the debug mode. So this is the fourth number. First, validate so that we can remove the validation errors, and then run workflow, find the error, add the breakpoint at the specific point, and then run in the debug mode. Let's see if this is correct or not. 8. What describes the function of UiPath version control? Basically, version control is for so that multiple user can work with that. Provides ability to prohibit the comparison. No. Provides a developer an effective way to create larger projects that require collaboration between multiple users. This is the correct one. Next, which UiPath Studio panel can be used to change the scope of variable? So we have variables. What are the differences between variable and argument? So variable passes the data between activities inside the workflow, and argument passes the data between workflows. So this is the correct one. Between workflow, right? This is the correct one. Argument pass the data between activities in the same workflow. Argument manage the data only inside the data between activities inside the. So this is the correct. Click next. So here we have a developer has created an automation process that includes the main XML file. Okay. Supermarket. So here we are taking this apple into fruits, right? Fruits here. So we are printing fruits here. It means apple, and then in the supermarket we are using fruits in shopping basket. Okay. So apple will be assigned to in shopping basket, and then in the detail supermarket this will be assigned to this. It means apple plus orange. So what direction we are using? We are using direction in direction, right? So here we have supermarket, right? And what is this? This is a sequence, and in the sequence we have supermarket and then fruits, and in the fruits we have apple. Assign inside supermarket, inside this. It means this value. Okay, so what they are saying, based on the information shown in graphics, what is the output of right line activity? Okay, so output of right line activity will be apple. You know why? Because they are asking what is the output of right line activity. So here if you'll run this one, so first it will complete this part, invoke supermarket, and whatever value will be there that will be printed, and then it will come to this and then right line. So currently it has apple, and then once we will run this one, so in the supermarket it will go and run this part, and in this we just have assign activity. There is no right line activity, so it will assign, let's say orange, and then let's say here we have a apple. So what will happen? It will not able to assign into that, because here it is trying to assign to shopping basket, but this value it will not come, it will not pass from this workflow to the main workflow, right? So only apple will be the correct answer, right? In UiPath Studio, which argument direction exists? So we have input output and input output. It means in IO, like input output and input output both. Now, which characters can be used as a wildcards while editing a selector? Which characters? So we have two, question marks and star. Next, how can a full list of attributes of UI elements be displayed? Full list of attributes. Okay, using the UI Explorer tool, we can see the complete attributes of any selected UI elements. This one. Which argument type does the selector property accept? System.string. What are the differences between full selectors and partial selectors? So we have full selectors are recommended to perform multiple actions in the same window. No. Full selector do not include information about. No. Full selector are recommended to perform the. No. Full selector include information about the top level element, correct, and partial selector are recommended to perform multiple actions in the same window, right. In UiPath Studio, which activities can be used an anchor? So we have find image and find element, you know that. Find image, find element. Now what describes an anchor based activity in UiPath Studio? So this is used to interact with the unstable selectors. Used to interact with the element that is stable, no. Enable faster identification of available, no. Used to interact with an element that has an unstable selector, correct. Now which function does the anchor based activity provide? Which function does? So it confirms, no. It searches for UI element by using another UI element as an anchor and searches the specified. Right, this is the correct one. By another UI element as an anchor, right. Based on best practice, how can another workflow is triggered from within the current workflow? Based on best practice, how can another workflow be triggered? Using invoke workflow file activity. What is the main feature of flowchart? Flowchart determines the project behavior, no. Enables the creation of complex business and connect activity in multiple way, right. This is the correct. A developer has a workflow in which a value of counter needs to be evaluated before the body of loop is executed, which control flow in which the value of counter needs to be evaluated. It means first we need to check the validation condition before the value of loop is. So we have while loop. So first it will check the condition and then it will enter into the loop. And in the do while, first it will complete the body of the part and then it will check the condition. So we have while loop. A developer needs to design a process in following way. The process needs to validate the payment status field in the application. Okay, there are three possible values in the payment status field named pending, paid, or awaiting approval. Third, for pending, the process should check the due date and field. If the due date has lapsed, raise an alert, otherwise do nothing. Okay, for paid, change the overall status to completed. For awaiting, this. So based on UiPath best practices, which activity is recommended for design the process flow for step 2? There are three. So payment status, pending, paid, and awaiting. Pending, paid, and awaiting. So we have switch. We'll take switch. If it is pending, it will go and complete these things. If it is paid, it will complete this part. If it is awaiting, it will complete this part. So switch will be the correct answer. Review the following graphics. str item equal to array of 1, array of like index of 1, current item plus this one. So what? Okay, so this is the exceptions in catches. Now finally, so in the array of items we have a value in the array of string only test. It means we have only one value, that is one index, and we are going to print out here. So it means we are passing 1 here. So It means this is out of range, index out of range exception. So it will throw this error and it will print this one, index out of range exception. If we'll print here array items of 0, then this is correct. So index out of range exception. Based on best practice, how many global exception handler can be set per automation project? Only one, and unlimited one for the entire project. Next page. What is the correct expression for displaying the current date in the output panel using a write line activity in dd-mm-yyyy format? So we have now.toString dd-mm-yy, this one. Now we have 2020 split with 2, so we're going to split 2, so there will be blank, then 0, then again 2, so again 0, so blank 0 0, so it will come here item, print here blank 0 0, like that. So we have blank 0 0 because we are splitting based on delimiter. We are considering 2 as a character and then we are splitting this value, so we have this one. A developer wants to remove the company from the UiPath certification string. Which string function will return certification? So if we'll take 6 to 4 to 6, so it will complete this value from space to up to this one, but we want only this, we don't need that space here. So we'll take this one, UiPath certification dot substring 6 dot trim, and then click next. A developer needs to ensure a string has a valid email format. How can this be verified? So use regular expressions to first ensure that we are getting a valid email format, email or not. Which element must exist for each dictionary object? We have keys, key and value. Each dictionary has a key and value. Where this one? A user needs to download a report for each month of the year and decided to loop over the month using for each activity. So which data type is best suited to hold the values of names of each month? Okay, so we can store all the months value like Jan to December into one array of a string, and then we can take one by one from there and we can process that. So we'll take this one. Which data type is used for extracting data from a Microsoft Excel file using read range activity? So data type is used, so data table. When reading a CSV file with read CSV activity, which property needs to be checked in order to include the column names in UiPath Studio? So we have has headers. 34. Which activity can be used to retrieve the value from a certain cell from a data row object? So we have get row item, which will take the data from data row as a data row, and then it will give us value in a string. 35. Which activity is used to get the and filter mail message? So we have get Outlook mail message, where we have one filter fields where we can apply filter there. 36. When using the for each activity to loop through a list of mail message variables, how should the type argument property be set? So we have system.net.mail.mail message. Mail message. When using an Excel application scope activity, which activity should be used to sort a table directly in Excel files. Sort a table, so we have sort table activity, which is used to sort table directly in the Excel file. What describes the file access label needed when using the workbook read range? So we have works with only with Excel. No, works with Excel SS must not be installed. So works with Excel SX file, and Excel does not need to be installed. Correct. Next. A user wants to write a data to an Excel SX file. However, that the file does not exist. What will happen if the Excel write range activity is used to write the data table? So process file will be created and data will be located in the file. Right, so this is the correct one. It will first, if that file is not there, so it will first create with the same name, and then data will be written to that one. What is the feature? What is a feature of native skin method? It is used to extract the text position. Runs in the background? No. So click next. Now 41. Which job status will prevent the deletion of an associate robots? So if job is either running and pending, if it means if that job is assigned to the robot, then also will not able to delete anything, any robot. Click next. What is the correct sequence of a status if all statuses are involved in the transaction execution of queue item? So first, once value item will be assigned, so it is in progress, and then if it is failed, then it will be retried. If that is retried, so obviously at the end it will be successful. So first, if failed, then retry, otherwise success. 1 2 3 4. 43. A robot processes the items from a queue, this item having the property. What is the correct sequence in which the robot will select the? Okay, so based on the deadline and priority, first it will check reference 1 high. So first it will check this one high, and then reference 3 will be 2, reference 2 will be 3, and reference 4 will be 4. So 1 2, reference 3 2, reference 2 3, this 4. 44. What is the characteristics of an asset? So asset type can be changed. All credentials stored as an assets are encrypted with the AES 256 algorithm. This is the correct one. Can a package be downloaded from orchestrator using the necessary permission are granted? Yes. Any version of package can be downloaded. No. Yes, the current version. Yes, the current version of package can be downloaded. Any version of package can be downloaded. 46. A developer successfully published a package to this orchestrator. The developer did not make any changes and published again successfully. So what will happen? A new version of project is sent to orchestrator but is not set in right. What will happen? A new version of package project will be published to the orchestrator, and a new package will be published there, but it is not set as active version. You have to manually set as active. It means as a current one. Correct. Okay. A developer needs to create a variable to store the value of an email address, which variable, property or field is optional. Name, default, scope. Okay, so default will be optional. If we'll pass default value, so default value will be assigned, otherwise nothing will be assigned to that. So this is the optional. 48. What is the unique feature of UI Explorer tool? This is allows the developer to view the full hierarchy tree. This is the unique feature of this one. In order to ensure a robust and stable automation, which selector should be modified based on this one? So the first one, this is the, it has Chrome, title this, Confluence, and IDX equal to 94. That should be changed, that should be modified. Here this is the correct, this is also correct, this is also correct. This is the, that needs to be modified. A developer discovered that a reliable selector is unavailable for a UI element that represents a button within a table. To ensure interaction with the button, which activities should be used to increase the reliability of automation? So we have a find children activity we can use to find, you know, that button within a table. So we'll take this find children. Click next. A developer has added an invoke workflow file activity in main workflow to invoke the process. The developer needs to pass a data table called this one from main to this, which action needs to perform. So if we have main to invoke this one, developer has added an invoke workflow file activity in the main workflow, right, to invoke this one. Okay, so the developer needs to pass a data table from main to this one. So we have to create in argument, and then we have to take value from this one. So we'll create in this one here. So declare an in argument in process invoices, and then we will import that here. So we have 51. Click on finished, confirm. Now let's see the answer, score. Wow, correct. So again, in the second practice, this is the UiPath RPA Associate version 1.0 practice test, and again the overall score is 100%, and the time I took, that is 28 minutes 30 seconds. So you can go through that. I hope you will enjoy this one. If so, then please press the like button, and please subscribe if you have not subscribed my channel yet. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thanks. Bye.